Okay. Hey everybody. Decided to make another little video, um, especially with all of the talk lately on race and the priesthood in the Mormon Church. Just had a few thoughts on it that I wanted to share. I don't have anything probably earth-shattering or groundbreaking to share, and maybe nothing conclusive, but I still do want to say some things. So one of my first thoughts is that I think that the article that was released on LDS.org that's titled "Race in the Priesthood," I think it's a great start. It says some really good things. I think it puts us on a better path, and maybe a repentant path. But I think it seems to stop a little bit short of one, apologizing, which I think would be nice. I think it's important too. I think there are a lot of people that deserve an apology for those beliefs and that were preached as doctrines regarding especially people of African descent. So I'm hopeful, and I don't know, I don't have any insider information, but I'm hopeful that the April 2014 General Conference will have something to say about it. So the other thing is, where I'm at in my own beliefs is just I believe that they got it wrong. The LDS.org article doesn't, it sort of stops short of it, in my opinion. It sort of stops short of saying the doctrine of banning ordination of the priesthood to black members was wrong. It doesn't say that. It may indirectly, if you want to draw that from it, then I support you. Maybe that's what it says. But it stopped short of saying it directly and explicitly, and I want it to say that it was wrong. I want it to not say that the theories surrounding it were wrong. I know those were wrong, but I would like it to say the ban was not from God at all. I want to say that black members should never have been kept from receiving the priesthood, being able to exercise that authority, being able to go through the temple. I want it to say that, and I want to know if that's what they mean. I want to know if that's what the church means. I want to know if that's what whomever wrote that article, I want to know if that's what they meant. So I'm hoping to hear more about that in April at conference. I believe it was just racist. I believe that the ban was not from God at all. I believe it was just racism, which was prevalent at the time. I don't. I know that the church is just an organization that is, run by people, run by men and women who are imperfect and who have experienced human frailty and weakness and bias. And I think that's what it was. And the prophets and apostles that came after Brigham Young, up until Spencer W. Kimball, got it wrong too. That's what I believe. That's what I believe, and I might be wrong, but that's what I believe, and I would like to hear that expressed from the pulpit. This particular issue has been sort of the biggest thorn in my side as far as Mormonism goes. It's harmed me, and with it I harmed other people, I think. I was a missionary for the church for 2 years in Los Angeles, California, and the majority of my investigators and the people that were behind the doors that I knocked were black. And when this question would come up, I had no answer. I had no response other than to, maybe talk about the narrative that, well, blacks just weren't ready for the priesthood. The God wasn't ready to give it to them. They weren't, it just wasn't their time. Um, but I had a lot of people accuse me of being from a racist church, and I didn't think that I was, but I didn't really know. I didn't really know very much about this race and the priesthood issue. Now I've read quite a bit about it. And yeah, we have a ugly racist past. I think we're hopefully beyond that now. But what I, I baptized people, um, avoiding this question at all costs. I tried to keep it from any and all of them that I could. I didn't want it to come up. I thought if I can just get them baptized, then it'll all be okay when they do find out about it down the road a little bit. And in that way, I deceived people, and I feel bad about that. I have a regret about that, lots of regret, still, and it's been a long time since I was a missionary. I want to say that I'm sorry for deceiving people. If I want to say that I apologize for that. I apologize for um, going along with the narrative, and I apologize for preaching the narrative. I apologize if I made you feel like God thought less of you. Um, I apologize for not being more forthcoming and for not loving and serving with enough courage to be completely honest with you. Um, so, I mean, if I could talk to everyone that I taught, that's what I would say. I would say I apologize for that. I sincerely it this issue haunts me to this day, and now finally we're seeing maybe that'll be resolved, and I'm super excited about that. I love that. But I taught what I taught as a missionary, and I reasoned in my mind the way that I did, and it was deceitful. It was. I wanted you know I wanted to avoid that conversation. So I apologize if you felt like I tricked you in any way. And anyway, I look forward to hearing what gets said in April. That'll be here before we know it, and I'd love to hear anyone's thoughts on it, what they think, and I think that's about it. Those are my thoughts to this point. So there you go.